Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. Everyone sick, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and hit talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home. The all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
40 keys. What's up, people?
Oh, you went circle and heart. Wow, you done perfected this thing.
I'm trying.
All right.
Got a lot of love today.
A lot of love, but a little bit of time. We got to move because there's so much to talk about here. Look, first and foremost, I think the idea of the approach that I took on what day was that we played the Chiefs? Was that a Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah, on that Sunday after that game, the approach that I took of, okay, let's see if they do it again. Then they lose. Then, okay, we beat the Bucks. Let's see if they do it again. Then they lose. This is why I took that approach, right? We got so rah-rah. We got so happy, so excited about how good this team looks. Let's be real and let's be honest about the context of what we see. This was a Chiefs team that was without 3 of their offensive linemen, right? Travis Kelce's a shell of himself. Then they go up against the Buccaneers, who are missing their 2 best pass rushers, and then their best corner goes down, and we do what we did in that game, right? When we play teams that know how to scheme it up against us and have the ability to do that, we see what we saw last night, right? So starting there, what was your reaction the first time you saw Josh get sacked in that game?
The first sack, I can't remember which one was the first one because I was at work, but I do know the memorable one was the second one.
Okay,
where he's running around in circles, and I was like, "Yep, there it goes again." Like this is Josh trying to make things happen, and this is Josh. No, sugar high Josh is you got to be smarter than that, and that's what I said. I thought there was going to be an interception thrown. I knew he was going to throw at least one yesterday after the way it started. But no, I didn't have a good feeling about what they were doing. If you look at when he got sacked, what was the predominant? What was the trend on the sacks? The trend on his sacks was this: he was in shotgun. 7 out of 8 sacks were shotgun. Okay. What does he like doing? He likes running out of shotgun. Yeah. They ran play action 26% of the game yesterday. You would think that's when he would get sacked. When he's under center, when he's turning his back to Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. But no, I mean, the faster he got the ball out, the faster he accepted a loss and thrown the ball away would have been better. People were talked about yesterday, and I'm not going to derail your point, but this is a thought I had. People talked about yesterday how taking what they give him is not the way to go. The little short passes that's how you could. Would you rather have 8 sacks for negative 70 yards, or would you rather have 3 or 4 yards a pop the other way? I can work with 2nd, 6, 3rd and 6, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 7 or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get into a situation where I'm at 3rd and 20 or 3rd and 15 or whatever, because he wasn't taking 1 or 2 yard sacks. His sacks were great numbered sacks, in terms of the yards he lost. But I'm sure people like Tommy and Mikey and them and they'll like this part, because I'll honestly tell you, there really wasn't much Josh could do yesterday besides throw the ball away a couple times. I looked at all 8 sacks and I said, okay. I said, a couple times I just wrote, yep, no wins. He's going down. I wrote into my notes, he's going down. There's no wins. There's nowhere to throw the ball. There's this, that, and third, which is fine. But if you notice, a lot of the run, the route concepts was this: they had 2-man routes on the outside. They had garbage underneath, and they just let it ride. Now, how long are you going to do that for? You got to be more diverse than just having 2-man routes. And the mesh concept, that's not something we need to run, because that's not something that Josh wants to throw. Because that's kind of a manufactured short throw. That's supposed to go to that tight end or that crossing Shakir or the crossing Gabe Davis that we saw on that one play. So I think the sacks were kind of a representation of the way Josh wants to play. And I'm not blaming him because that's what's got us this far in terms of the last few years of success is playing the way he plays. But at sometimes you gotta acquiesce and say, you know what, I surrender, ball out of bounds, next play.
So I think I just kind of want to hurry up and get this point out, right? Because again, there's so much other stuff to get to, but the offensive line in this game showed you exactly why I kept saying that this is not a top 5 offensive line. Now, when I say this is not a top 5 offensive line, am I saying that they just can't do the job at all? No, I'm not saying they can't do the job at all. They're decent. But what made them look great and what's given them this reputation of being a top tier offensive line is
two people, the same people that they say were helped by the line.
Who's the second person?
Cook.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'll accept that. Yeah. So Josh and Cook are the two people that really made this offensive line look really good.
The reason why I say that, and I like your point, but the reason why I say it, look at the first touchdown, the 45-yarder. The defense knew it was going to that side. They had I fumbled too. They had three down linemen bunched over the right guard.
Yeah.
They had a linebacker in the B gap, and Cook elite vision. But when you look at this at the bird, eagle eye, you'll say, "Oh man, that O-line blocked the hell out of that." No, he made some cuts and got out of there.
Yeah.
And that's to your point. And that's why I had to add in Cook on that because he's been doing that for a long time, but nobody recognizes that.
No, that's a great point. That's a great point. And so here's the deal. When we're having these conversations and everybody is looking to the stats to identify what they have in this team, this is why we tell you stats are not everything, because the numbers will tell you, based on the rankings, based on the PFF numbers and stuff like that, it's a top 5 offensive line. The same numbers that told you that Membu, the rookie for the Jets, was the highest rated offensive lineman at the beginning of the season, and he only played one snap by himself against TJ Watt.
Mm-hmm.
One.
Yep.
Every other snap he had against TJ Watt was getting chipped. So the context is everything. Okay. Now I'm gonna pull up some video.
Yeah. Why you do that? I don't mind if you.
Sure. Go ahead.
I got to defend my stats a little bit, but no. You're right. You're right, because you got to back it up with footage. You got to back it up with your eye test. But when people use stats, sometimes they use the wrong stats for the wrong context.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at how good the offensive line is, you look at, oh man, James Cook is averaging 6 yards a carry, but how many yards before contact?
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about Josh Allen, oh man, these guys are separated, but where is Josh Allen in relation to the guys that are separated? You got to look at all these stats that cooperate. They combine to give you the full picture. You can't just look at cherry pick a stat here and say this is what I'm going to give you, your portrait.
Right. I look, when everybody is excited about giving Deion Dawkins the key to the city, and everybody is talking about the RAS score of Spencer Brown, and everybody is talking about how the transition for Connor McGovern moving to center has worked for this team, I think what sticks out is moments like we saw in this game multiple times, 4th and 1. It took Josh jumping over the pile to get 1 yard. Other than that, you couldn't get 1 yard the rest of the game, pretty much. Especially not running the ball. Like, wait till I pull up this video, because it is absolutely egregious. And
I like that word.
Thank you.
No problem.
The idea that this team has prided itself all season long, and where is this? Is not. Hold on.
Oh, you going all the way? Yeah, we gonna watch the whole game, folks.
No. I'm not trying to do that, but it just takes so long to get to the NFL Pro.
It was messing up today. It kept
was
looping.
It really?
Yeah, it was doing screwy stuff.
Okay. So here we go. So I got there now. So again, for those of you that watch video, for those of you that like to do the film review and stuff like that, you already know about this. But for those of you that really didn't enjoy the fullness of the Amazon experience, because they do the overhead cam and you can watch the entire game that way, right? So
it was robust.
They already have this here. So dropbacks versus so I want to get to sacks. No, it's not going to be in that situation. Oh, play result. Here we go. All right, so let's go to.
I thought the route. See, this is the thing about the sacks. I thought the route concepts were back to normal, back to vanilla, back to BS. Not what we saw last week.
Okay, so. Why did it give me? Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. So it pulled up the Bucks game for some reason. I don't know why it did that.
Go to 12. You're on week 12, not 11.
Where
right there.
Okay. All right. Is this play result? I gotta put that in. Okay. Bam. Okay.
Are we streaming the video?
Not yet. I need to find the one I'm talking about here. This is it, I believe. Nope, that's not it. Sorry.
Which one are you looking for?
The Barnett one.
Okay.
Here it is. Okay, so let me blow this up. And let me thank you for everybody's patience so far while I share the screen.
We're not going back to drought years, Videsh. We're not going that far back.
All right, here we go. So here's the play. Okay. Now on this play, you got Derek Barnett up top here, and you already know this dude.
Pumpkin? Pumpkin?
This dude is right up here getting ready to block, right?
So if you want to call it that. Okay.
let's get the tight copy here. I need folks to see what happens here. All right. Your franchise left tackle.
That's not even the worst one. Go to the make your point and then go to the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, make your point there.
We can make the point with all of these. Really.
No, I want you to look at his footwork on the first one. That's why I say that. And that's what I remember the
first one?
Yeah, the first one.
So this is Will Anderson on Deion Dawkins' side.
Just picture somebody hitting a layup and getting back on defense. Watch Dawkins' footwork. Watch his footwork. His stance is horrible, and then watch the footwork here. Where's the kick slide? Look at that. Where's the kick slide? He's running backwards.
Wow.
You've lost. Where's your leverage? Where's your anchor?
So here's the other part of that too. And I had an opportunity to have a conversation about some of this stuff with Coach D earlier. What he pointed out was when these linemen get beat, watch what they're doing.
Just so y'all know, Coach D is in the corner. He's evaluating us right now. If we get fired, it's because he said we're not good enough.
Okay. So thank you for pointing out the footwork there, because that is one of the things that I want to make clear about our franchise left tackle right now, and how people laud him for his ability to play this position.
Yes, I mean Spencer's position is correct. The way his stance is right.
Correct.
Now look at Deion. Deion's like, I just had a pork chop sandwich.
Okay, now
you see that? You saw it?
Huh?
Go ahead. I know where you're going. Go ahead.
So not only was Deion Dawkins resigned to just stand there and let Will Anderson wall him off with one arm, but he allows Will Anderson to just go around him and does nothing. He don't try to hook the guy. He don't try to nothing.
He stood there and looked at him. He stopped for a minute.
Look at this.
Yeah, looking right now. The play's still going.
So, okay, here it is.
Stopped. The play is still going. Look at him. Circle
Josh
him.
still has the ball, still trying to go. Look at Deion Dawkins' arms. He's standing there with his arms down. I don't want to hear he didn't want to take a holding penalty. Chill. I don't want to hear, well, maybe he thought the play was over. I don't want to hear none of that. These players learn from day one, the second they put the big old helmet on their head that barely fits. You play until the whistle blows.
And then some.
Period.
And then some, yeah.
Yeah. If you're getting good coaching, you
and then some.
you go a little bit further, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is what we saw way too many times in the game. Way too many times. This was not a matter of what Josh said in terms of, well, they just wanted it. This is not a matter of what Deion Dawkins said last 2 weeks ago against the Dolphins, where they just wanted it more than us. It has nothing to do with that. This stuff is getting seen on video weekly
by people that are armchair GMs and wannabe coaches like us.
Not even that, bro. I'm talking about the coaches in the building.
No, I'm saying if we're seeing it, why aren't they seeing it? That's what I'm saying.
Well, they are. That's what I'm saying. If we're seeing it, they're talking about it for sure. That's happening in meetings. But here's the issue, right? I'm just gonna slide this in there while we got the cheeks open real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Keon Coleman is late to a meeting, gets benched
Say
for
it.
2 games.
Say it slow.
Benched for 2 games for being late to a meeting. Now, that is important. And he's a grown man. He needs to be responsible. But how in the world has Deion Dawkins been getting away with this for as long as he has? How in the world are guys not understanding where they need to block? I need to go back to where's the. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the. Let me pull up this link.
Say it, brother. Get them right. Get them right.
Because this is, bro. I can't make this up.
Get them right. You ain't. They are.
I need to show you exactly what Spencer Brown did on the run play, the last run play of the game for Cook, where he got stuffed on 4th and 1.
Okay.
Huh? It's 10:30 something. Okay. So I just
you watched it a couple times. I see.
We did before.
Oh, okay. You have to.
Yep.
I feel like Coach D got the fat head on the wall of this image. He's like, yep, right there.
Yep. So all right. So let's go back to. I got to get to the film room here. Yeah,
you can just do 4th downs if you want. You can filter by 4th down and run if you want.
Okay.
Just go, yeah.
Play situation.
Yep. 4th down, and then you can go
to the 4th quarter. This false start.
4th and 1. Was it up? Oh, up the top of the screen, right there.
Right here.
Yep.
Okay.
The 4th and 2 you talking about? Or 4th and 1 with.
Yep, this is it here. Okay, let's get to the tight copy. Okay, now I got to share this though. All right,
it's important. I mean, I'm glad to watch with you. I like people at home to see it as well.
Let's bring this up here. All right, bam. Okay, now let's make this big for the folk. Now there. Okay, all right. This should be clear. Hopefully, everybody can see this. Keep your eyes on big old 78 right here, tackle 79. I'm sorry, 79 Spencer Brown. Okay, I want you to understand that this run is going to his side. Okay, very clearly. Watch what happens.
I like Deion's stance there too. Look at his knock knee and everything. Jesus,
what is he blocking right now?
I think he was supposed to catch 39.
Everybody crashed the line. You got a blitz from the DB here, 2 DBs, 39, and I think that's Stingley coming around the edge there.
Oh, but Torrance, that's egregious.
Right, 90 right here.
That's egregious.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Let's back that up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I think happened.
But Spencer's looking the wrong way too.
I think the run direction was changed. That's the only thing that would explain Spencer Brown not knowing which direction he was supposed to go, who he was supposed to block, right? If the play was going to the left, he picked the right guy because he was going towards
39.
No, it would have been 0. So if the play was going to his left, then yes, 0 is the guy you want to hurry up and get to because these guys are going to be under the play anyway. There's no way they're going to get to Cook. So somehow he either didn't hear or didn't know that the direction of the run was coming at him. So he just leaves everybody.
Yeah, I think Spencer was wrong either way because if you look at McGovern I think you're right about the change of direction, but McGovern was always going to 0. And if you look at Spencer Brown, he's just lost in the sauce. If you run it back a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm being honest because this is my guy. I like Spence. I still think he'll put a hole in my chest, but right now I don't care. If you look at McGovern. McGovern knows his assignment is 0 the whole time. He came off the line to 0. Spencer's looking at 0 too, like, huh? But if the play was going left, Spencer has no block if the play is going left anyway. So him looking to 0 makes 0 sense.
No. So if the play was going to the left, that means Connor McGovern gets to come up on 2, right? Because 2 is crashing down. So if the play was going to the left, 2 is reacting already.
Okay, so Spencer just don't know the play.
That's what I'm trying to say. So Spencer, there was nothing for him to block because he had no idea what his responsibility was on that play.
I want to, you know what I'm curious about, because this happens a lot. I'm curious about what the time on the clock is. Coach D, I don't know if you notice, a lot of times recently, especially, you got a David Edwards check, and by the time he gets back in his stance, Osiris is already doing this to snap the ball. So one side of the line knows one thing, but the other side of the line has no idea what's going on. And that's why David Edwards keeps looking, well, I won't go that far, but that's why he doesn't look as good as he could look, because they are not in one unison. They're not in sync.
Yeah. So one of the things that Josh enjoyed the benefits of under Brian Daboll was Mitch Morse.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point in time, Mitch Morse was responsible for making a lot of the protection calls, right? Josh wasn't doing a whole lot of that. He really wasn't changing a lot of plays either. But he doesn't have that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Connor McGovern is not really that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he just doesn't have the responsibility or if he's just not good at it, but it seems like they've basically put everything that deals with protections on Josh.
Well, I'm thinking it's more than that. I'm thinking it's way more than meets the eye. It's got to be Brady, because why is the play coming down so late all the time now? You have no chance to set your blocks, set your protections up, because you have no time on the clock. And that's why every time Edwards is setting the protection, or he's seeing a blitz coming his way, the other side, because they already got a snap, they got to go.
Yeah.
And I think, like Josh said yesterday, what are we effing doing, or whatever he said.
Mm-hmm.
The players are late. They've been late. And this is something that's been called out for the last 2-3 weeks, but nobody's paying attention, because we won against the Chiefs. We won against Tampa Bay. So people are like, oh, whatever.
The theory I maintain is I think there's too many hands in there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yep.
There's too many people communicating on these offensive plays. If we're talking about a run play, Aaron Cromer's got to be involved, right? Josh is, I don't know if he's hearing everybody, communicate, but Sean is giving his input. Okay, on this down and distance, what are we looking at, right? And he's hearing from Joe Brady. Joe Brady's hearing from Aaron Cromer for his recommendation, because Aaron Cromer's the run game coordinator. So all of this stuff has to happen within the span of 40 seconds. By the time Josh gets to play on this particular play, Josh didn't get the play call and start to line up until they had 11 seconds left on the play clock, right? Usually when Josh gets to play and they line up, he's got about 15, 16 seconds left on the play clock. That's enough time to get to set your protections, to get your communications right, and then, assess and snap the ball. But in this instance, guys are just not ready. And I guess that's kind of my macro point for showing everybody what I'm showing at this point in time when it comes to the play of the offensive line. Is the offensive line is just a microcosm of a lot of different things that we've seen under this head coach. And with the word I would use to describe the main problem is just unprepared. They are unprepared for these key moments in games, and it shows. They constantly and consistently get caught with their pants down against teams that seem to be ready to handle the moment. And we're supposed to be the ones that are cultured and put together and buttoned up and disciplined and all these things that Sean McDermott preaches. And yet we go against a 5-5 team with a backup quarterback, and let's be real. Their quarterback plays a little bit better than Josh does in that game.
Yeah. I mean, it was just that he had easier looks. It was that he wasn't asked to do too much. He was playing within the system that's what he should do. You played, I think he was averaging 2.6 seconds time to throw. Josh 2.55, and everybody makes a big deal about Josh at 2.55. But guess what? You know what the next lowest two are? Wins. We won the 2.62 game, 2.64 game. We won them. So this isn't uncharacteristic. He can win this game. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm not sick of. Everybody go off. I don't care. But this is what I'm sick of. I'm sick of the blame on the players as much as why are we not talking about where are the auxiliary coaches? Where are the coordinators? Where's the accountability for why our wide receivers coming in Buffalo? Josh Palmer, Curtis Samuel, Elijah Moore, Keon Coleman, anybody you want to name comes into the system and lays an egg. Why is that? Why is it that your tight ends are not equipped? Why is it that your defense sucks? Why? Now, if you ask me this, who was our tight ends coach? Do you remember? Do you know?
Look it up right now.
I got it.
Okay.
I was just curious. Rob Boris. He played in college. You know what position he played?
Safety.
Center. So that tells you that we want blocking tight ends. But we have two of them that kind of block, and one, our best tight end, is a receiver. Wouldn't you get somebody that can work with the young boy? You know, what about wide receiver? Adam Henry. He played wide receiver at McNeese State.
Mm-hmm.
Should we ask why you can't develop anybody?
Well, yeah.
Well, but I want to keep going. Defense. Our defense linebackers coach, Al Holcomb. What did he play? Anybody know? Coach, do you know he played in college? Al Holcomb? Nobody knows. I'm sure he didn't.
Right.
Defensive line. Marcus West. He played defensive line. Jamila Dye played cornerback. Joe Dana, he was a safety. He played wide receiver at Central Michigan. The Nichols coach, he's a lacrosse player. My point is,
just bringing any old body in.
You bring in people in. What is your method? What is your logic? What are you? Oh, we got a super chat. Billy D.
Yep.
Code 45 on him. Every time he does that, I was like, Code 45.
Yep. Says, wait, it's Keon's fault for not making McD happy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you look at the coaches, don't you want somebody, if you're going to bring in young talent guys that are raw, somebody that's done it before, don't you think you should bring in somebody that kind of knows a thing or two? Well, see, I mean, it's maddening that we have to keep going through this, that we see regression. Why did I think about this? Because what did we see last night? Mr. Penguin, Tim Settle. Where was that in Buffalo? Remember he sucked here?
Yeah.
But guess what? Remember Puna Ford? Remember he sucked here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? Wyatt Teller, remember he sucked here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when do we start asking what's up with the development? We keep damning these young players for not being good. We keep damning, at the time, Cole Bishops. We keep damning, you name it, any young player you want to name. Landon Jackson, I guess you'll say. TJ Sanders. But there's no development from week to week. You telling me none of these guys want it? These guys that were in the league before, actually produced something in the league before, don't want it? This is crazy to me.
I think the reason that happens, is because you have a front office, and I'll include the head coach in that.
Mm-hmm.
You have a front office that enters into every season thinking this is a different team, right? And when you listen to the way they talk about each and every team, each and every year, they don't talk as if they're trying to build upon what they developed and what they built the previous year. What it sounds like they do based off of what they say is last year was last year. That's last year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we got a bunch of new guys in here. We got to figure out what we have, and then we'll formulate a plan going forward. You can't exist like that. You can't exist continuing to wipe the hard drive clean and think that you can just rebuild the entire system the very next season. There's no continuity in that. Here's the other part. If players are being chosen based off of their skill set and not their accomplishments and what they actually put on the field, then all you're doing is playing high school sports. Mm-hmm. You're in the gym in your t-shirts and your shorts, and you're saying, he looks big, I think he can do this, I want him. Mm-hmm. That guy looks fast, I think he can do this, I want him. That guy is strong and has a great athletic score, I want him. That's all you're doing, essentially. You're not looking at these guys and saying, man, if I can take that production in college and incorporate that into what we're already doing the following season, we'll now have this weapon and this weapon, right? Man, that corner can really do, he can play man coverage really well, and he can play zone really well. If I can match that with if I can bring that on, and I got, Christian Benford playing zone on one side, and I can man up this guy against the best receivers on every team, that basically creates a scenario where my defense is benefiting highly from it. Like, he's not thinking about that stuff.
No, he preaches. I always say he preaches complimentary football.
Or I should say.
Yeah, they preach complimentary football, but at the same time, they don't run it at all. They don't do complimentary football.
Right.
And to that point, I'm watching the game yesterday, and McDermott's not happy with the game plan. Why is that? Because they're throwing. He said, we can't get hit that much. He knows the offensive line can't protect Josh like that. And the thing is, this is the thing. I will say this, and I might catch I don't even care. McDermott does not like the way the offense is being run right now. I know what he wants. He wants that even keel, a lot of runs, safe football to a degree. But he also wants speed. He also wants somebody that can hit a play every once in a while. And I don't think he believes anybody out there can. I really don't.
You think he wants speed?
Yeah, I do.
What has he said? And not in a generic, press conference, we want guys with speed. Like, he's not going to get up in a press conference and say, no, we don't want guys with speed if somebody asks him about.
Right. I mean, well, the thing is, you look at who we have. We have speed. We have how many guys under 4.4? We have, we have Brandon Bean gushing over Gabe Davis. We have Brandon Bean gushing over Cam Coleman, who are the slow guys. But McDermott likes that BS with Shakir, which is a 4.4 guy. I think he liked Elijah Moore.
But then how? And not that you in particular have to explain this.
I can't, but I just believe it.
How would somebody explain the way that Shakir and Moore and who's the other guy, Curtis Samuel, have been used? I mean, Curtis Samuel was the first fast guy we brought in under Joe Brady.
I think this is my formulation of it, and it could make no sense. I don't really care because I'm just in my own little world right now. But the way I go with this is this. Sean McDermott says, like you said with Brandon Bean, are you on board? Joe Brady says, yes, I got this under control. You want this, that, and the third. I got you. McDermott's like, I thought you said you had me. I said I wanted this. I wanted to look like this, but you gave me that. That's not kind of what I was asking for. Okay. But you get close, but you're predictable. I want you to do more stuff within my umbrella. I think for me.
Wait, so it sounds like you're saying that Sean has nothing to do with the predictability of this offense.
No, I don't think that. I think Brady has no idea what he has in his toolbox. Like I made the joke in our Discord last night when they had the flea flicker, the pitch and catch lateral.
Hook and ladder, yeah.
And then they showed Brady up there cheering, but he's looking at us. They said that was a great guy. I said, Brady ain't got that on his play sheet. He didn't even know that was there. He's still trying to find it. He was looking up and down.
So who called it?
Josh probably called it.
Oh my God! Stop it!
Wait. I give Josh credit one time, and I get reneged on. This is crazy. This is insanity. No, but seriously, no. I mean, I said it in jest to be funny, on the Discord yesterday, but that's not something that we would see. A 4th and 27. That's like all or nothing. We got to go for this thing. And I really, Jam said Shakira called it. He probably did, but no, I don't know. Like I struggle to think that an offensive coordinator can think running the ball, or a head coach can think running the ball the same way 4 straight times is good for business, whether or not he's conservative to the core. We threw the ball 63% yesterday. That's not McDermott's rubric at all. And we were only down by 7 points at the crux of the game. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, in essence, why didn't we run more? We still were in the game the whole time. Mm-hmm. So I just think that either Josh changed everything up, or Brady said, let's do this thing here. And McDermott was like, let me see it. Let me see it.
So let's explore that. Let's explore that, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like based on what you're saying, there's a disconnect between what Sean wants and what Brady's providing.
There's a disconnect between all three of them, I think. There's a disconnect between Brady and Sean. There's a disconnect between McDermott and Bean and Brady, I think. All three of them are like, they're all going rogue with each other. It's an implosion to me.
Okay. So I heard Sean say something during the game intro. Mm-hmm. and he was having a conversation with Al Michaels. Now, most of you would want to believe that Sean McDermott is an honest, hardworking, blue collar type of guy, right? Family oriented, doesn't take advantage of people, but just a general nice guy. That's what we want to believe, right? And when Sean was asked after the game about why Coleman wasn't playing, his answer was, we're trying to get the guys on the field that we feel gives us the best chance to win. That was ultimately the end of his answer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what he said during the game intro to Al Michaels was, we're still exploring, trying to find our best five.
Mm-hmm.
How in the hell is it week 11 and you don't know who your best five is?
Week 12.
Week 12. You are the head coach. It is your job to have that identified by the end of preseason.
Why does it surprise you? Because you remember they said the same thing about the offensive line. Was it 2 years ago?
Right.
In the preseason, they said the same thing. We're still trying to. You used to have that in training camp.
Exactly. And
two of them have been here already.
That's kind of my point in all this. Is you on one hand, we're looking at Joe Brady as if he can't handle his job and he needs to just be shown the door, but yet we've got a head coach that has been consistently pointing all of us in his direction with everything that he's saying. He started off his press conference yesterday with, well, there's some things that we just can't do against teams like this. He talked about turnovers. He talked about he talked about the quarterback getting hit. He talked about field position. Then he says, I thought the defense played pretty good in the second half. I got something to show you about that, right? And we'll get to that in a second. But my point is this. When your head coach has been that dedicated to blaming every other area of the team other than his defense, every other area of the team except the injuries to his defense caused by his negative relationship with Eric Schiano, and which probably made him leave. Nobody's talking about any of that kind of stuff. And so we look at Joe Brady and we look at the other, coaches and coordinators, and we question them, when at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is you got a head coach that is standing in the background, pushing everybody else up front and saying, well, I'm not really that involved in that department. I'm not really involved in that department. I'm not really involved in that department. If I'm not mistaken, the way a business works is the guy at the top is the most responsible of everybody. And if he doesn't know what's going on, that's still his fault. How are you the head man, the CEO right now that's supposed to be running this whole deal, and you don't know what's going on? Miss me with all of that. In all seriousness, like that to me is the biggest problem of all. It's why I've been saying for years now that Sean is the problem. We watched Frazier leave. We watched Schiano leave. We watched Chad Hall leave. We watched the old DB's coach leave. We watched so many people leave this building because of him. Whether it was reported or not, I've heard from people inside the building that that all of the minorities that work there right before the Tyler Dunn report came out, I had heard that all of the minorities that worked at the building all left because they were all highly uncomfortable in that atmosphere.
Yeah, I watched Triggs 44 drop some money in there for a super chat.
Appreciate that, Triggs. Said McDermott meddling has ruined this offense, period. And that's the other part that I'm trying to get to here too, is I don't think there's any way that you hear a coach talk about complementary football and talk about establishing the line of scrimmage and all of these other, mantras that he kicks out at us in press conferences, and then think, oh, he doesn't want us to run the ball 5 times in a row. He ran 6 QB sneaks in an AFC championship game and only got 1. And that 1 that he got was the second one they tried in the entire game. He tried it 4 times after that and didn't get not 1 and didn't think anything was wrong with that. Did he criticize Joe Brady for that? No. Why? Because it was his call. Anytime something is his call, he don't talk about it. Period. Anytime something has his little fingers in there somewhere, twiddling some strings and getting people to move, he don't talk about it. That's why the defense played well in the second half. BS. Complete bull.
Wait, why is it?
Why is it? I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you right now. I'm going to show you why it's complete BS. This idea that the defense played well in the second half is so misleading, it's not even funny. So let's go to fourth quarter. Let me see. Fourth quarter, I can't really get to.
You can't go to. What are you trying to show?
Oh, fourth quarter. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. You trying to show passes? You trying to show runs?
Run. How do you get to run?
Play type up, right there.
Play type. Rush play. Okay. I don't want the Bills. I want the Texans. I want the Texans. Is this it? Okay. Perfect. Here we go. So now this was fourth quarter. They were up by 4, I believe it was. It would have been 20-16 at this point. Okay. 20-16. You got 9 men in the box right now. 9. Anytime you see 9 men in the box, you're supposed to check to something else. And they got tight ends on the field. They could check to something else. They can do something different here to try to get the ball out quick with this many guys around the line of scrimmage. Watch what the Houston Texans do here. Walks up. Okay. Looks like man. Makes a check. They all coming. Boom. Runs the ball anyway. I give you another one. Oh, shoot. I didn't want that. Okay. Fourth quarter. Where is it? Another one. Damn near 10 men in the box. Okay? Damn near 10 men in the box. Sees the coverage. Motion. Hands it off anyway. My point is, by this time in the game, the head coach, and I guarantee this probably happened after halftime, D'Amico Ryans is coming out at halftime. They can't block us. We ain't gonna have to go out there and keep scoring. And they can't block us. If they can't block us, they're not gonna be able to move the ball. Right now, we did make a few plays. To our credit, we had some guys out there that made a few plays. But my point in showing this video here is the offense was instructed to operate a certain way that made it easy for the defense. Of course, the defense tightens up when they go jumbo formation and they just run the ball straight at you up the gut and they only get 2 yards. You had 9 or 10 men in the box each time. Of course, you're going to stop the run at that point. Of course, you're going to force them into passing downs. Guess what? When they were trying to pass the ball to get down and score that last field goal, they still moved the ball on you. So this idea of, the defense played well in the second half, yeah, because the other defensive-minded guy on the other side of the field thought, my defense is good enough, I don't have to do much. Guess who else would have did that? Sean Dan McDermott, if he had that kind of lead and was affecting the quarterback and the offensive line with his defense. So all of this talk is about playing well in the second half. It lacks context. The video is proof. We cannot let this go. This game makes everything clear about what the culture has been, about the moves from Brandon Beane, about the type of offense that Sean McDermott has pigeonholed Joe Brady into, about the style of play that Josh has been pigeonholed into, and everything about this defensive scheme and how terrible it is. We cannot watch this game and feel like, oh, we're just going to walk into Pittsburgh next week and spank them. Aaron Rodgers sucks.
Why would that work?
Why wouldn't what work?
Why would somebody say that? I mean, that's arrogance that nobody should have. Any NFL fan base shouldn't have an arrogance like that. I don't care if you're the Chiefs. I don't care if you're and this is the point I like to make. You can't count anything as a win when you look at the schedule. You can't count anything as a foregone conclusion when you look at the schedule in any pro sport. You know, everybody out there said we're going to go undefeated or lose one game. This is what happens when that noise is heard. Pagula hears you when you're at the stadium cheering for people. Pagula hears you when you say you need this, that, and third, or he likes when you support his product. He likes when you believe in his product, because that lets him know that he doesn't have to do much to keep you in keep him in your good graces. See, Pagula is he's not a smart sportsman, but he's a smart businessman. As long as the money's coming, hockey fans, as long as the money's coming, football fans, he's not going to change anything. And I'm not saying you need to go there and boycott, because it's not going to do a whole lot. But the point is,
actually, it might. I think it would.
I don't think so, because I've seen it on the Sabres side. He don't care.
Okay.
But my point in all this is make it noisy. Make it noisy, because that we can win as long as we have Josh stuff. How is that going for you right now? You got Josh and he's getting creamed. You know, he needs help. I've said this how many years now?
Yeah.
He's been needing help.
Yep.
You can't do it alone. James Cook can't do it alone, because he has one guy's hope. Shakir showed up yesterday. But guess what? It's still not enough, because you need an auxiliary piece. You need an offensive line. You need a defense. You need some takeaways. You know we have 17 games in the last 2 years, 34 games total, where we haven't had one pass breakup, one batted pass. We got a 6'7" defensive end. We have another 6'6" defensive end. We have these defensive tackles they laud, and nobody's getting their hands at the bat passes down. I thought, why they's got to be so tall then? What's going on? Why is it that we're not getting we're getting turnovers, but we're not forcing turnovers? Why is it that we're not a force? We got one guy out there, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. My little cousin Cole Bishop, of course, who's out there balling out of control. Why? Because his anchor is injured. Taylor Rapp is not on the field. I told you guys. He doesn't suck. It's because they put him in the wrong position. And now that he's freed, look at him. Now everybody, Cole, duh. I looked this up, and this is hilarious to me. I was on Pro Football Reference. They have this relative value chart where they kind of rank you in terms of your chances of getting the Hall of Fame based on where you are right now. So I was running the query for something else I'm not going to get to, because it was long and we don't have time for it, but we'll do it soon. But I will tell you, I did a query for this metric for a defensive end. You know who number 2 is since 2020? AJ Epinesa. Why is he not playing?
The guy I said we should pay. I said we should pay him. I'll keep him for another couple of years.
What are we doing? But we got Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa got how many sacks? 4? How many weeks has he had 4 sacks now? Joey Bosa is not a bad player, but you can't give it. People put their thoughts, they put their prayers, they put their hopes in one player who's 29 years old. They put their hopes in one player who couldn't stay healthy previous to this season, who hasn't been healthy this season. So when Pagula hears this, when Sean hears this, when Bean hears this, I did a good job. I did a great job, because guess what? They're coming and they believe. They going on Post Podium Podcast and saying those guys suck because they don't believe in us. They're going on Mafia Sports Report because they don't believe in us. They trolling because they don't believe in us. But they're doing our work for us. We ain't got to do nothing. Just make sure Josh Allen stays upright. He's our cash cow. He's the one that keeps us employed. James Cook, excellent. We didn't want to pay him, but he took a pay cut. So guess what? He keeps us employed too. Who needs anybody else? I'm a defensive guru. My defense has sucked for years. My defense has sucked since Leslie Frazier left.
Yep.
Let that sink in. My defense has sucked since Leslie Frazier left. The guy everybody said was terrible. The guy everybody said was conservative. The guy everybody said was not worthy of being a Bills defensive coordinator. He's gone. And look at our defense. It's gone too.
Yep.
with vastly the same players, might I add. So what's the problem? What's the common denominator here? It's not even, it's stubbornness.
Yep.
No, it's not that. It's your faith. Not your faith, because you're watching the show, you're not trolling. But it's the faith in you guys that silence people like us. People that say, you know what, something ain't right. Something ain't right here. And you go on the street, on Main Street, you go on Jefferson, you go on Maple, or wherever you at, Niagara Falls Boulevard, and you argue with us because we don't believe like you believe. Open your eyes and see what you see, and then we'll talk.
This coach is so disconnected from the team that when he gets amped up and he's trying to fire up his guys, you saw him in the game going, he looks on the field and he turns around and he starts like high-fiving assistant coaches behind him.
Mm-hmm. He don't even know who this is. He like, somebody
right,
hit me.
Just everybody that's right in his circle these are all assistants in his circle here. So he's like, he's slapping guys, high-fiving guys. Come on, let's go, guys, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Not one player.
And I'm gonna tell you, no. And let me address Lindsay right there. Josh says, "What are we doing?" Rant has spread through the media like wildfire. I'm hoping Paguli gets his hints in the process. It's not, because Josh screwed it up when they asked him about it. But it's me. It's me. It's not you. It's not you.
He's saying it sarcastically at this point.
It's sarcastic, but you can't say those words because all they hear is words.
That's true. That's true.
You need to go in there and say, you know what? Why am I getting hit so much? Why can't I find somebody that's open? Why do I have a coach give me the plays late? But matter of fact, why are we not on the phone, Josh? Why are we not asking Brady that question during the game? Why are we not behind McDermott saying, yo, how many times I get hit? How many times I've been hit so far? How many incompletions? What are we going to do about this? Call your boy. This your ish, right? Call your boy. Mm-hmm. Tell him what I want. But instead he says, they asked him directly. They gave him a chance to make his claim, to start the paperwork. And he said, it's just, no, you 30 years old. You can't help. Everybody can't like you. We like you.
Lee. They scored 20 points in the first half. Because Lee's trying to say defense gave up 60 yards in the second half and 3 points. This team scored 20 points in the first half. 20. With a backup quarterback against our vaunted defense. Jaquavius Marks.
Thank you.
Jaquavius Marks totaled out in the game 4.6 yards a carry. Nick Chubb, another 2.7 to add on to that, right? But really, it was Woody Marks' game. You mean to tell me that if they really wanted to, they couldn't score another touchdown when they wanted to? Hell, they didn't even need to go to Nico Collins, and they scored 20 points. Nico Collins had not one first down and not one touchdown. Not one. He didn't affect the game at all. The Bills went in and did what they wanted to do as far as taking him away. But unfortunately, Trey White is so bad right now that he can't check a rookie.
Who is this?
Jaden Higgins.
Okay.
So you got, and not that Jaden Higgins went off, right? Higgins got 4 catches, 38 yards, and a touchdown. And then Christian Kirk getting off on whoever he was getting off on, 5 catches, 54 yards, a touchdown.
Christian Kirk, I can take a look at that.
So let's not pretend like the Texans were trying to go all out in the second half. I just showed you prime examples of the box being absolutely loaded. And if the Texans were trying to score, they check out of that. And to be clear and to really to be real, if the Texans are trying to score, they don't line up in jumbo more than once. You just don't. That tells me and that shows me that you have a head coach who's defensive minded and says, my defense got this. We don't need to do no more. Right? I think once they saw Josh move the ball a little bit towards the end of the third quarter there, that's when they said, all right, let's go down and get one more just to give ourselves the cushion. And what did they start doing? They moved the ball enough to get into field goal range. And realistically, even on that drive, Jaden Higgins should have came down with a catch. A couple of plays that the quarterback missed. They should have had a touchdown. Matter of fact, on 2 different occasions, they should have had a touchdown. The deep pass down the sideline to Jaden Higgins, and then the pass to the tight end. Like, they should have had a touchdown. When they were trying to score, they moved the ball. So I don't want to disrespect your point, but I'm kind of disrespecting your point a little bit because you're defending something that is indefensible. No disrespect to you personally. I'm not trying to make this personal. But for anybody who's trying to defend this defense at all, you're simply doing that because your head coach is doing that.
Yeah. No, I saw a comment somebody said Shakir was playing scared too. I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
8 for 9 and 110 yards, and I mean he had a fumble. I missed. I was getting yelled at by somebody.
My guy Kalen Bullock got that ball up out him.
Hey, guess who we could have had him too?
Yeah, exactly.
That's part of what we're gonna do on Monday. Yeah, okay. Because I got a little something for you guys. But yeah, anyway, no, I mean that's a heck of a game, and that's a heck of a super chat. White Town King
says Bills are slow, fast tracks exposes them. Yeah. Every time.
You know what's funny? The Houston Texans blitz is the second lowest rate that we've seen this season. They blitz is 13% of the snaps.
Yeah, they don't really blitz like that, period.
No, and the best part about it is, there's only two non-defensive linemen got any pressure on Josh. Only 2. But Josh was on his face a lot. He had guys in his face a whole bunch. It's probably like I don't know if you guys remember Kevin Hart's stand-up where he's talking about his uncle getting beat up, or his father getting beat up, and he said, he was getting worked over so bad. He asked Kevin, "Am I being jumped?" He was getting worked over by one dude. Am I being jumped? It's hands everywhere. Is it an octopus? It's got to be octopus. Why is it? Who's hitting me? Are you helping him? And that's the thing is, and that's how the offensive line had to feel yesterday. They were so overmatched. But see that scheme, that the situation they were in did not help them at all. I mean, are they bad? Yesterday, yes. Are they a top 5 offensive line? Are we ready to put that to bed? Because we've already displayed and showed you why Josh Allen and James Cook make them better than what they actually are. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about we're starting David Edwards, we're talking about Connor McGovern at center, we're talking about Deion Dawkins at this point in time. You probably should leave top 5 somewhere else. Yeah, that's just what it is. Osiris Torrance, he leaves a lot to be desired. And in my mind, I'm like, do we really pay him $16-17 million a season? I don't know. I don't think so. But no, Michelle, you can't do that. We've already seen it.
Tried to delete it.
I don't know where it is, but we've already seen it somehow.
Steve says, how many games of this crap does this fan base need to wake up to the truth? How many teams do you need to see do what you want until you demand it? Maybe we need the Patriots to really embarrass this team. I honestly think that's what it's going to take, bro. We see the Patriots in what, two more weeks? Where's the schedule at?
I got it.
Yes. 3 more weeks. So we got Steelers, then the Bengals come here. Joe Burrow's playing in that game. That's an L. Sorry. That's an L. We taking an L at home. And then we have to go to New England on December 14th.
But there says Shakir just had a kid. He ain't have much sleep.
Shakir just had a what?
He just had his baby.
Oh, yeah. But still put up a bunch of numbers.
Right. He was the best wide receiver by a country mile. I mean, it was literally that's the what do you call it? The Mount Rushmore of our offense. Shakir, Cook, and Allen. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yep.
And you got Cole Bishop all by himself over here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not that you are trying to do this per se, but this is exactly the way that Sean wants everybody to think. Can you name the last game-winning drive by Josh? That's the way Sean wants y'all to think. He wants y'all to think about the end of the game when the offense couldn't score. He don't want y'all to think about the 29 points you gave up in the AFC Championship game. He don't want you to think about the 32 points you gave up to a Buccaneers team that was down its top 2 receivers. He don't want you to think about that kind of stuff because that stuff points a finger at him. That's why he gets up in the press conference and says, I thought the defense played better in the second half. He never criticizes his defense. Never. You give up 20 points in the first half to a quarterback that the last time you played him, you beat him by 40 points. And really, he was quite possibly the most inaccurate quarterback I've seen play the Bills in very recent history. Right? He should have gotten destroyed. Right? And instead of getting destroyed, he scores 20 points on your defense. Now, here's the other part of this. The Texans' offensive line is one of the worst in the NFL.
I mean, how many hits we get?
Settle.
Say it again.
Settle.
Woo!
Like, not one.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yep.
You don't even touch this guy. And your excuse is, well, he was getting the ball out too fast. No, he was not.
Yeah, I think Bosa and Russo got there like on the second play, and that was it.
Bro,
that was it.
I'm watching this man slide around in the pocket and move away from rushes and step up in the pocket. There was no rush up the middle. You went and got Sanders and Deion Walker for push up the middle. You brought in Ogunjobi for push up the middle. You drafted Ed Oliver for push up the middle for crying out loud.
I told you I wouldn't work. I told you these are not the defensive tackles for that. They don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
None of them. See, we'll see. Deion Walker 6'7", 345. I'm 6'6", 290. Look at me. Who am I moving? Nobody. So you see the size, you're like, oh, but you got to look at body construction. What's his muscle mass? Where does he hold his weight? You know, I think he was good on the bench, but if they tell you he can't anchor in college, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen against him running in the pros? When you getting a wham block, when you getting a pull, when you getting some kind of block that you don't see coming, a double team, you getting clean smooth out, and that's what you see with Walker. You see him get clean smooth out. But we knew it was coming. See, the thing is, us eggheads, we read the scouting report. We watched the Senior Bowl. We watched the combine. Well, okay, he can do this. He can do like you said. But he can't do that. But then again, if you want this guy to develop into that, why don't you bring in people that can develop them to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Strength and conditioning coach for Deion Walker. His back is holding up so far, so that's a plus. But what about the next step for him? When do we evolve him into a run blocker? If he comes in with mega thighs like what's the guy, the running back, AJ Dillon, next year, something like that. Oh, they did their thing. I don't see it happening.
Right.
Bosa. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you said before Bosa got banged up, he was playing well. He had a couple great games, and then he kind of was solid, but he was not really the dominant force that was advertised. So, I mean, he played, but you got to remember, he had 3 forced fumbles in one game or something like that, 2 sacks in one game, and he still got 4. You know, I'm gonna take a jab at my guy right now. He said he's gonna get 14, and I said, where the other team gonna come? He said, oh, you taking jabs? I said, you told me I ain't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
where are the 10 at?
Yeah, super chat. Shine says, Josh needs a lot of blame too. He asks for nothing. He will regret it when he doesn't have a ring in 5 years. You know what? I like that perspective of blaming Josh. I agree with that 1,000%. Everything else, I probably would not blame Josh for. And let me be clear. That doesn't include the missed throws and things that he should have seen. Dawson Knox was open on that last play. That's where the ball should have gone.
Yeah, I think even though it's a pass interference, just the fact that he didn't throw it there kind of hurts because you know it's a pick play coming. And we went through the progression of a mesh play. You got the deep route, you got the rail, which is the running back that's running the little, what do you call it, the wheel route, and then you have the mesh. And he didn't even throw it to the mesh. It's like And did you see Dawson Knox's reaction when it got intercepted?
No.
He damn near snatched his tin pad off his helmet. Like, he was so pissed off because he knew he was supposed to have the ball.
Yeah.
And he turned around, saw it, and he was like, and like, that's his boy, so he can't do too much. But I know inside he was stewing.
You know what helps Josh not strive for touchdowns as heavily as he does? Making it easy for him to score multiple touchdowns.
Yep. He likes the hard stuff.
I mean, if you got a guy that likes to drink, give him the hard stuff first.
Exactly.
Let him calm down later.
I'm glad you did that because I was waiting for somebody to say pause. Nope. Nope. I just couldn't say what I was talking about because I might get shadow banned by YouTube, but it's narcotics. But anyway.
I mean, look, the idea here is and I wanted to get back to this point.
Yeah,
too.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Where is it? Steve said, let's put Coleman on punt return. Don't waste a real receiver like Shakir on a punt. That's also a good point, is using guys out of position.
It's gotta be somebody else. You ain't gotta put Coleman out. It's gotta be somebody else.
I know.
It's gotta be somebody else.
I mean, Jamarcus Ingram, somebody. One of those guys.
Just catch it.
Right.
Don't even do nothing.
Hell, just put Ray Davis has been great on kick returns. Put him on punt returns too.
He's the number one guy in the league in kick returns.
Yeah, right now he is. He's leading the league.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make this point again, and I really need everybody listening, take this with you. Like, let's really get this out there. Let's talk to people about this, because this is the foundation of the way Sean McDermott runs this team. You have a second-year wide receiver that has been late to 2 meetings so far in his 2 years with the team. He gets benched for 1 game for that reason. And then Sean takes that as an opportunity to justify this search for the top 5. Right? Meanwhile, Sean has been preaching and banging the table for, these positions are earned. You got to earn your way on the field. You got to earn the ball. The ball goes to those guys that are showing the most effort. All these things that encourage players to prove themselves, right? Have we ever seen Deion Dawkins get benched for something like what we just saw on video today?
I've never seen him get benched, period. I've never seen him get benched when he got hurt. They love Deion Dawkins and Matt Milano until Matt Milano was like unplayable. Yeah. He's unplayable, but he's still playing. Let that sink in.
Yep. And thus, thank you very much. That is my point. Your head coach has been consistently and continually contradicting himself on the most fundamental levels of everything that he's designed this culture upon. And for me, that's a no-brainer right there. If you're not even living by what you're preaching, we can't have a conversation. We can't have a conversation. How are you telling me how you want me to operate in your program, and you don't even do that? You draft a guy, you like him, he's in. Bobby Babbage leaves, I'm going to look out for your son, don't worry. Defensive coordinator. Never had any experience. He was your safeties coach. Then he was your linebacker coach the following year. Then year 3 for him goes straight to, and I know he's been around Sean for years and years and years. That's not the point. Yeah. That's not the point. But in a span of 3 years, he becomes a defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for Babbage's sake, what do you think happens if somebody calls him and says, hey, we want you to come be our defensive coordinator. You got the job. Don't worry about it. How well is he going to do? What scheme is he going to use?
He ain't going to leave.
He probably ain't going to leave.
And that's the same concept I've had with Brandon Beane. I mean, I know me and Tommy. I don't know if you want. I'll say it from Mafia Sports Report. Mafia Sports Report. We talk about it all the time, but I mean, to me, if Brendan Bean was that good, he would have left when he had a shot.
Yep.
He would have believed in himself. So, you know what? I don't like what we're doing here. This dude he's a glory hog.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go somewhere else and be that guy. But just like you said, and people say it's a cult of Buffalo or a cult of McDermott, whatever you want to call it. It's for better or for worse. I mean, he's building them up to whatever they are. If you like them, then you like him, and you can't say you don't like him, but you like them because he is them.
Yeah.
Proof to me by the fact that they can't leave him. Now Joe Brady comes in, and honestly, I'm not being funny, but Joe Brady got fired in Carolina for not wanting to pass or not wanting to run.
Brady,
yeah,
for not running.
So he's about to do it again.
Yeah,
he's about to get fired again for not
running. Even though this team leads the league and runs on first down, even though this team is regarded as one of the top 5 rushing teams in the NFL right now, like they're good at running the ball. How can you say your offensive coordinator is not running enough when you do it more than anybody else?
It's just too much. This is too much passing. It's too much.
I mean, like, I just, at some point, I need something that comes out of Sean McDermott's mouth to make sense in a way that I've heard other coaches on other teams that have won championships make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't. And it's infuriating because nobody really cares about investigating to figure out whether or not he knows what the heck he's doing. Nobody thinks to look a little bit deeper or just kind of peek under the carpet a little bit to see what's under there.
Yeah.
And then we end up with games like this and, oh, Josh had a terrible game. He missed guys. And let's be clear about this too. Josh is not getting up on that podium saying I have to play better because that's really what he feels. That is the ultimate business or culture speak in a sense, right? That is the ultimate, oh, you think I'm the great eraser? Okay, fine. I'm gonna shove it down your throat now. I got to be better.
Yeah, I think that's where I had the biggest grievance with him, and it has nothing to do with the way I think it'd make his life a lot easier if he played a slightly different way. Maybe when he gets a little older, he'll be like, because you see now those plays that he used to have those powers and stuff, he's not hitting them holes like he used to. He's like, he wants to,
right?
But he's like, something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Right.
No, Josh, something is right. You're 29, almost 30. I can tell you a lot about that. But no, and the thing is, when you look at the transition, you have to believe in the transition, and you have to believe it, not believe it because they tell you to believe it. And that's the thing about McDermott. McDermott brings people in, and he makes you look good to a degree, to the point where you get accolades. And now he's like, whoa, thank you, Sean. He's all like, bring it in. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me the credit. Give me a hug. Because he's not going to go as far as say, I made your ashy butt. But in his mind, he's like, I did that. I did. And a lot of us are the kind of person that likes to see a project go through, and when it succeeds, you're like, yeah, that was me right there. And McDermott's that guy. Like he knows he needs eyes elsewhere. Mm-hmm. But in his mind, he can make the scheme, make the culture, but he needs the eyes to enforce the culture and scheme. And usually that will work if the people you have under you, they actually believe in the system and they know your system. Babbage might know the system, but I think Schmidt said in the comments earlier that McDermott was calling the plays in the second half, which is true. I wish I could have watched the game more intently, but I was like holding planes off while I was trying to see if we were going to score. I missed the James Cook touchdown.
Just wait.
Right.
Just wait.
Like, hold that off. So, don't bring it in. They can wait. They were in the air for 2 hours. They were up there for 2 hours. They're good. But yeah, and I missed the James Cook touchdown on the first run too. I came back. He's like, yeah, we scored. I said, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, James Cook. Like, let him cook.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I ain't gonna lie, Tommy.
Oh man.
Gabe Davis had the 20-yard. I'm like, not today. Like, not today. I said, this is not gonna happen today. Gabe cannot go for 5 and 85 and a touchdown today. I'm not prepared to do this today. I was confident. Now I don't have to be, because that was the end of his day right there.
Yeah. To be clear, Tommy, you You gonna have to get that T-shirt set up, bro. I need to see that big foe right on the chest piece.
Oh yeah, we got beef too. I forgot. You know what he did?
What?
You know my Let Him Cook Elmo shirt?
Yeah.
He photoshopped Gabe Davis behind him. Yeah.
He showed me that. That's right. We were doing the show yesterday. He showed me that.
Oh yeah, it was on the show. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, you about to get it?
Gabe Davis, big game Gabe, went off for 1 catch on 2 targets, 22 yards.
And he had the big game of pass interference to end the game because he decided to run a different route.
Exactly.
Isn't that funny how that happens? Isn't that why we didn't like him a long time ago? Option route. He's like, I'm gonna go this way. The ball's over there.
Exactly. Going the wrong way. That's not his deal. That's not his deal. It's not what he does. Broken play, that's the guy you want to look for.
Yep.
In breaking route, that's the guy you want to look for. The simple stuff.
Yeah, they were. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Don't give him an option route.
They were tweeting that Josh Allen was looking for Gabe on that play too, and he decided to run a different route. So Josh snapped off of him, went obviously to Palmer, but so I don't know how true that is because I was trying to read the movement of his helmet, but I don't know, maybe. Yeah, but going to, I guess you got any more on offense?
No, we can go to defense.
Okay, defensively. All right, they suck. Have a good one, y'all.
Yeah,
no,
that's it.
Right. It's funny how they started. Milano doesn't start the game, and they started with the guys we said: Dorian Williams, Shaq Thompson, and Terrell Bernard. Okay, that's a start. Not as bad. Taron Johnson, very bad. And I thought my boy man Max is all right. I think it was all right last night.
Okay.
Yeah, he had 3 targets, 1 catch for 2 yards. They gave him I think Pro Football Focus gave him a healthy 37 score on his. I'm like, 1 catch for 2 yards on 3 targets. He got 37 in a pass breakup. I mean, it hit him in the back, but it doesn't really matter.
It didn't look good enough.
I guess not. Had to be clear, secure from last week. I don't know, but yeah, I thought he was. I mean, as a rookie, as far as rookies go, I thought he was all right. Obviously Cole Bishop, when he saw Nico Collins catch that ball, he said, you know what? I'm about to make a statement. He said, you remember me? Cracked him. And then that tackle was amazing. The tackle was amazing. The fact that he just kind of hooked his ankle some sort of way and tripped him up, that was excellent. I mean, that was a veteran play. Let's see. Oh, Gabe had more yards than Moore, Palmer, and Knox. So yeah, it wasn't like wide receivers. Yeah, no, that's true. Because guess what? Oh, back to the offense. I told y'all, don't get too high on this Saver stuff. Don't get too high on this Davis stuff. I need to see more.
Who, Gabe Davis?
Savers, Davis. I need to see more.
Yeah.
And people, how many people Roy's not in here. I don't think he might be, but how many people picked up Tyrone Savers this week in fantasy football?
Yeah, he was. I imagine I didn't buy it. I didn't go for it.
When will people learn? Do not pick up Buffalo Bills in fantasy football.
Yeah.
Not even Josh.
The only guy, Josh got me -5 points in one fantasy league last night, and 5 in the other. Just only because they don't do negative points.
Oh my god!
The
only one
crazy.
You might get away with is James Cook. You might get away with James Cook. No, I was gonna say Shakir, but no, you're not getting away with it. Maybe Kincaid, but he's always hurt, so no, not gonna work.
Let me see. So I'm on Spotrac right now.
You got it.
And I'm looking at defensive spending for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh boy, what position you want?
Let's go defensive ends first.
Okay.
What are we spending on defensive ends?
I'll pull it up. Hold on 1 second. It's egregious, isn't it? Between Rousseau and Bosa, I think it's 37 mil.
What about Epinesa?
Epinesa, he's. Oh, you mean our best pass rusher?
Yeah. Yes, I do. That's exactly who I mean.
Let's see. Hold on a second here. Okay, so Defensive ends, edge defenders. Just for this season, we're paying against the cap 24.2. So cash $48 million against the cap 24.2. And that's 8% of our team cap.
All right. And then defensive tackles.
Interior defensive linemen 29.2, 10% of the cap.
So that's about $50 million right there.
Yep.
Okay. Over
53.
Million. 53 million.
And 14 guys. How many sacks we got? How many hits we got, more importantly? Because we get sacks, but what about the rest of it? What about to make them fear you?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that I push back on your hypothesis on pressures and hurries and things like that. Because if you constantly do it, they're like, where is it coming from? I know it's somewhere.
Yeah.
But you got to finish at some point. You got to have somebody that threatens for a 10 sack season. You got to have somebody that threatens for, a multiple hits a game. Somebody that just can't be blocked, which is what we saw last night. The reason why Hunter was so free was because freaking Anderson was getting off. The reason why Anderson was getting off, because they're like, it might be him this time. I don't know which way it's coming. Let's slide it this way. Let's slide it that way. Al Shahir is coming, but he's like, no, I'm not. Fine. He's coming though. They could have told us who was coming and we couldn't have blocked him. That's how bad it is. And to do this, let's go there. I'm glad you said that because I want to look at that.
Good.
How much do they make?
You want to hear something funny real quick while you look that up?
Yeah, go for
it. Jordan Hancock, rookie,
Mm-hmm.
is making more money this season than Jordan Poyer. Jordan Hancock right now is making $923,918 this season. Jordan Poyer, $572,220.
Ooh.
No wonder he didn't want to play no games. Said, you only pay me $500,000, bro.
Yeah, they lucky they ain't get the Anquan Bolden.
Man, listen.
But yeah, Houston's edge defenders. You ready for this? Your cap number? 46.6. Is it worth it? I think it is. Their interior defensive linemen, $17 million. They make their interior defensive line makes less than ours, and they have Tim Settle. They have Sheldon Rankins. I thought they were pretty good last night.
That's the wizardry of the bean counter.
And that's what makes me pull my hair out. It's not that they're spending money, not that they're swinging for the fences, but who they're swinging for.
Mm-hmm.
We have, in theory, the same amount of money as everybody else when you start off. But you decide you want to go get these 1-year contracts, these old guys, these vets that can show somebody that don't progress. You're investing in mentorship where you got a wide receiver who can't make a meeting. Who's mentoring him? Deion Dawkins about, we're tough love now. Where's your tough love? When David Edwards getting your face, you getting his face. Y'all about to square up. What's the hypocrisy there?
Yeah.
Tough love, right? We love everybody. No, you sucked. And somebody should walk up to you and say, you sucked last night. How do we fix this? Offensive line coach. I've seen head coaches. Do you think Vrabel wouldn't say that? That's why he got fired in Tennessee. He's too scary. You think what's the guy that he said the crazy dude Houston used to have, the linebacker? God, all I remember him is on Hard Knocks. Come on, Blue, one more time. What the freak was his name? Somebody in the comments. I know you watch Hard Knocks. Houston Texans linebacker, a nut job. I gotta look this up. But anyway,
he was a Texans linebacker.
Yeah, he was in a Hard Knocks. Remember
Brian Cushing?
Cush.
Yeah.
You think he wouldn't tell Deion Dawkins, yo, what are you doing out there?
He would punch himself in the nuts before he said that.
He would. Just to get himself amped up.
Right. And then say it right in front of you.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
We don't have that. And Michelle said earlier, and I think that, I'm sorry, it's not up right now, but I'm trying to quote you. He said earlier, we have no dogs. Everybody said that we have no dogs. Even the good players that we have are silent.
Mm-hmm.
So when you earn your keep, if you don't play, you need to be an enforcer. You need to be somebody that's not afraid. You need somebody that's on the field. You get your one snap, and you're like, I'm about to take somebody's head off.
Yep.
Sorry, Laura. I know how you feel about that, but just for the sake of this conversation, somebody need to go out there and say, I'm a tone setter. Not I'm an edge setter. Not I'm feeding the culture. Not what did I say in the Discord where I was talking about when Jamar Chase spit on the other guy. I said, yeah, What and Mike Tomlin said, what did he say? Hey, you do what you do. Do what you do. In other words, sock him out. You're gonna get suspended, but hey, I understand. And I said, well, what McDermott say? He's like, that's not the way we like to do things here. That's not the way we operate. That's not the Buffalo Bills culture. That's not our standard. Was last night the standard? Because if you're gonna tell me that what is our standard and say it with a straight face, was last night the standard? Because if it is, everybody rip your banners down, rip your flags down, take your jerseys off. Because it's over, man. They told you that's the standard.
That's the standard.
And they've played against 3 good defenses. They played against Atlanta. They played against Houston and New England. 3 good, and they dismantled them.
Steelers have a good defense. Patriots have a good defense. Browns have a good defense, and Eagles have a good defense. Yeah. We still have to play against them. Now, the one thing that I need to make clear before I fully lose my voice here is the Steelers play great defense and they can run the ball. That's a recipe for winning against the Bills. The Bengals, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Every time we play that team, doesn't matter. They shred our defense. If you can't stop them, you can't beat them. Right? On top of that, you have an offense that seems to have a hard time scoring. Even with as bad as their defense is, they seem to always figure something out against Josh Allen. So that's the Bengals game. Patriots game. They can run the ball on us. They did it last time. They can make plays in the pass game. Steph Diggs is going to tear us up. You like, again, you're counting on being able to take away the team's best receiver and win that way. How did that work out for you last night against the backup quarterback? Well, they scored 20 on you in the first half and then felt so confident in their defensive line play that they didn't really feel the need to go and score another 20 on you in the second half. Right? Mm-hmm. So now we're talking about a Browns game where Myles Garrett is on pace to break the total sack record for the season. Right? How in the world are you going to stop that? You going to try to chip him? You don't think Mason Graham is going to get off on you? Not saying he's having a great season,
say,
but
is he good this year?
No, he's not been good at all. But my point is the way that the Bills play ball, it's like they go into these games thinking in their minds, I'm going to take away the thing that this team does the least of, or I'm going to try and take away the thing that this team does the worst. I'm going to take that away, and I'm going to make them play to their strengths. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm being facetious when I say that, but teams always seem to look better against us than they do other teams.
And
why?
You know what's funny? I can tell you why. And my friend, this is where my friend comes in, and he talks about, taking the top off of defense. You look at last night's game. You look at the game against Tampa Bay. What Gabe Davis say happened? What did he say they expected? See, this is what people they fail to realize this about the Tampa Bay game. Why the offense is so good? Because Tampa Bay didn't respect your pass game. They didn't know what it was going to look like without Keon Coleman. They didn't know what it was going to look like with Gabe Davis. They didn't know what it was going to look like with Mecole Hardman. But they still didn't respect you because they had shallow safeties. They didn't run cover 2 shell. They ran shallow safeties. They said, beat us. I mean, we did. But then guess what happened yesterday? Shallow safeties again. But guess what? There's not enough time to run deep routes because we got these 2 man children out here. Beat us. James Cook said, I got something for you. And they said, that was cute, but watch this. We're going to take your man out. Just like, like people in the street. We ain't coming for you. We coming for your man, your family. And they did. They said, we coming for Deion Dawkins. We coming for Spencer Brown. We coming for Josh Allen. We're going to hurt them so that you can't do anything.
Right.
And so what's going to happen going forward? Until we beat them over top, nobody's going to run too high safety shell. Yep. And then the teams that don't blitz, guess what? Because that's what I said before the game yesterday. I said, the only thing I'm worried about is they don't blitz. So there's no gaps to hit for hots. If they're not going to blitz, there's going to be no hots. So you really got to work. Mm-hmm. And going forward, I don't know what the blitz rates are, but even if they do blitz, they don't have to.
Exactly. That's the main point. That's the main point. Again, you beat a Buccaneers team down their best 2 pass rushers. Nobody talked about that. We talked about Jamel Dean getting hurt, right? What are your thoughts on, you know what? Let's pull this one up here. Spoto Matt, welcome to the show, says I think we were super hurt and can't get past this injury bug. I don't like our front office or our coaching, but the league is lacking consistency. I think that people got to let go of the L and C next week. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to hit it just like I did the Kansas City game, like I did against the Tampa Bay game. Okay. I mean, the season's not over. You know, a lot of people's writing off the season. Let's burn it down. Let's sell everything. Let's what do you call it? Tank for what? What are we tanking for? I mean, what we need, I can say right now, you don't have to tank for a great wide receiver in this draft.
I'm not like I'm one of those people that thinks the season was trending towards being over 2 weeks ago. So I'm not. I guess like I'm not in the pool of people saying tank. I don't think the Bills have to tank. I think the Bills are just so bad right now.
Oh yeah.
Just play your regular game and you'll still lose another 2 or 3 games.
I'm just curious, what are we tanking for? We have a quarterback. That's what you tank for, a quarterback. You're not going to tank for a wide receiver usually.
Well, in this case, what you're really missing and what would put this team over the top is a bona fide number 1 receiver.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to tank for it though.
Why not?
Because you got Casey Conception out of Texas A&M. He's going to be you can trade up 5 or 6 slots for him. He might be a second rounder.
And you trust him to trade up?
No, but I'm saying you don't have to tank. So you tank and then you still draft wrong. Well, so we're at catch 22.
That's the conundrum. So here's my logic on all this, because I'm with you. They're not going to do right regardless.
Right. I'd rather them trade up and screw up than tank, and we still get a dud. Like, what are we doing here?
Exactly. So here's my thought. The only way that a big move gets made is if this team misses the playoffs. I think at that point, it should be clear that the message has fallen stale on these players, and it's time to start thinking about a new culture coming into the building, right? In order for that to happen, the Bills have to lose 3 more games. Okay? They got four losses now, 5 or 5?
4.
They got 4 losses. So if they get to 7, you have the Texans creeping up on you and the Chiefs creeping up on you. One of those 2 teams could easily take your spot if you're going in 10-7. Right? Now, what I like to do is I like to say, what's the average of how the Bills play? Right? The average of how the Bills play is somewhere between what we see against the Chiefs and the Bucks and what we see against the Dolphins and the Texans and the Falcons and the Patriots. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're averaging that stuff out, that's who we should expect to see. What does that mean? Well, what that means is you're basically an average team, and you're a well below average defense. If you have an average offense and a below average defense, the thought of an average combined with a below average, the average of those 2 averages is somewhere in the middle, right? That immediately takes you to below average as a whole, which makes the Buffalo Bills, in the scope of the context of this point I'm making, a below average team this season. Right? Now, here's what's interesting. When you look up how the Bills rank defensively this season, before this game, they were 12th in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So the numbers would tell you, 12, that's pretty good. 12 is pretty good. But you played a bunch of bad quarterbacks. Offenses didn't really need to do much much scoring to beat you. Every time that you lost a game, you didn't score more than 20 points. Right? So, of course, your defensive numbers in the yardage and all that kind of stuff, because you're giving up turnovers, you're taking egregious sacks, you're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not converting. So all of these things fold over into your defensive numbers looking good. And then we think, oh, well, the defense is fine based on these numbers. But are you taking into consideration what's being shown on tape? No. And thus, you're missing the context. So when I look at these games, when I look at the Steelers, the Bengals, the Patriots, the Browns, the Eagles, I see strong potential for loss in the same way. I said this in the pregame show with Tommy yesterday. If they start trying to play that cute bubble screen stuff and run the ball and all on first down every time, they're not going to win this game. And then Tommy sent me this earlier. I just want to pull it up. Where is it? All right, so this was from, I want to give the guy credit. So this is from Kendall Mursky on Twitter. I don't know if you saw this, but he said the Bills in quarters 1 through 3 last night, 68.7% designed run rate on first down in quarters 1 through 3. So just about 70% of the time, they're running on first down. On second down, 45.5% play action on second down. So just under half the time, they're play action on second down. Okay? Mostly the same sequence, run, then play action pass until the last play of the third quarter, which was a first down play action. Okay? The Bills were 57.3% designed rush rate on first down this season. It's the second highest in the NFL.
You said 57.3% on first down?
57.3% designed rush rate on first down this season.
Yeah, we run all the time. We do this. It's like a script. It's a script.
So that brings into memory that from this Texans game in the second half, Josh goes on that bootleg because I remember seeing the bootleg in the first half. I'm like, oh, they listen to me, you know, because I'm like, you got to move the pocket, you got to do some things against these guys, right? Second half starts, Josh does boot action. What happens? They blitz it. Why? Because they're probably confident that you're gonna do that anyway. Right. Here's the other thing that the Texans did, and I want to give Coach D credit on this because he pointed this out to me, and I really didn't pay attention to it past seeing Derek Barnett on the field. But they started taking Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter off the field for first and second downs. Y'all ain't got y'all just relax.
Like we don't need you here.
We know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, because I remember the announcer said something about how underrated Danielle or Will Anderson is against the run. He said it. I mean, somebody on the radio or otherwise said that the Texans, we ran so much mesh route, the Texans actually knew we were running it when we were going to run it, and they were running it with us. And that's probably why the pass interference happened, because they knew we were doing it, and they seen the exact route. They saw the depth. They knew exactly what it was going to look like. And when Gabe Davis broke off his route, the guy was where he was supposed to be, and Gabe ran into him. So, I mean, that's the predictability that we're yelling about. And you know what I thought about, and I don't want to take away your point, but I just while it's still fresh in my head.
Oh, go ahead.
Who's our number one wide receiver right now?
Dalton Kincaid.
No, receiver. True receiver. Khalil Shakir.
Dalton Kincaid.
No. Khalil Shakir. Now, this is where I'm at with it. Hold on. No, hold on. Who was our number one receiver when Brady took over?
Keon Coleman.
No, when Brady took over.
Tyrell Shavers.
No, when Brady, Stephon Diggs.
Dalton Kincaid.
No, I'm trying to make a point. The point is, your most dynamic wide receiver is Stephon Diggs, right?
Yes.
What did Brady? What was it that McDermott was concerned about the meeting with Brady and Diggs, because Diggs said the offense was going to work, right?
Yep.
What did they make Diggs do all the time? His last year here,
run screens.
Why do we run screens with our number one receiver? Why do we always do this with the number one receiver?
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, is this the design? You can't do that with somebody else. Nobody else can run a screen. So Khalil Shakir, who shows you in the open field, he's a menace. Maybe he's not the most athletic. Scratch that. Maybe he's not the most dynamic, most electric, whatever. But he shows you he's money in open space. Why not get him there? Why not scheme him there? Like you did with Stephon Diggs. You neutered him, and then everybody's talking about Keon Coleman. We get rid of, trade him to New England so we can get some real mentorship. Wait, from who? The guys we had here? You got to be kidding me. From Stephon Diggs and Mac Hollins, who we had here. Mac Hollins here to mentor him. You wouldn't give him $500,000. He goes over there. He's ripping it up over there, and our guy is lost. Mac Hollins would have him walking around with no. He did last year, no shoes, probably doing arts and crafts, just like Mac Hollins, staying in the house, whatever the case may be. But now we're lost because the mentorship that they say we have, we don't have. And it's okay. It's fine because Shakir's out there catching a million balls for 50 yards, and it's everybody eats.
Yeah.
When are we gonna say, you know what? This ain't it. This ain't it. When they say everybody eats, I want everybody to laugh at them.
Having a number one receiver, I said this yesterday on the show with Tommy. Having a number one wide receiver flies in the face of everything of everybody eats.
Yep.
Period.
It does. Unless you got multiple number ones out there, and everybody's open all the time. Like Josh, like, man, I don't even know whose turn is it.
Yeah. You really want to see Josh calm down and just trust the process. You got to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, Josh is gonna feel like I got to do something. I got to score a touchdown. We got to. You know what I'm saying?
Like, Josh in Green Bay.
Bro.
Do that.
With those receivers?
And that running back?
Oh, my God.
Do that. And the tight end? Do that.
And the kid they just drafted, the running back they just drafted is nice, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Mm-hmm. Josh would lose his mind. Like, I don't even know what to do. Who gets it?
I hope we're wearing white pants today.
Right. He be playing Fumbly Rumbly. Huh. Anybody want it? You can get it. Just throw it over his head. Somebody got it. Romeo Dobbs down there. Anybody. But instead, we got this. And the thing is, the guys that we have are not bad. They're just bad together. Because everybody's supposed to be a second or third banana. But instead, we got him. Keon Coleman should never have gotten that X position right away. He should have been a project like we had with Isaiah Hodgins.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be having this conversation about that if he was Isaiah. If he really had to earn it, which he didn't, this is what we're working with. We got Elijah Moore coming. We got Mecole Hardman, who got traded to a team, decided I don't like this team, and left the team, went back to the team he got traded for in the same season. But we took him in. He had 4 plays on offense. 4 got hurt. But that's the guy they said take it out. He makes the game different. He's the guy they credit last week with when he played 4 snaps. This is how desperate Buffalo fans are. They don't realize we got all this speed on the team. They don't realize we got people that actually can play the game of football if you put them in the right position. I challenge you to go watch Elijah Moore when he actually plays on the outskirts, play on the boundary. Challenge you. Watch it. Watch his route skill. Watch his speed off the line. And tell me you can't use that. Tell me you really need to go get Mecole Hardman when he was already here. Curtis Samuel, if he could stay on the field, tell me you couldn't use that. Mm-hmm. He's done it before. Why can't they do it here? That's the question we need to ask. Stop damning the players that we have when we need to ask, why are they not as good as they were before?
Right. I feel so bad. Our wife said, "What up, fam? My TV didn't survive."
Well, did your phone? Because I know you finished it.
Laura said, "Did you punch your TV through the uprights, unlike Prater in that extra point?"
Nah,
bro. That reminds me, Prater on that kick and on a lot of his kicks, it's like he looks like a little kid just happy to be kicking. You know what I'm saying? Like his pants are all loose, the helmet look all big. You know, like
he got the leftovers.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just happy to kick a ball. The way he kicked it was like he thought he was in the middle of the field. You know what I'm saying? Then he looks up. Oh, the hash is over here.
I knew I was missing something.
You're right.
That's the step I missed. I didn't step over it twice.
Bruh, it just, he looks like a teenager. Someone get your child. Yeah, but when Prater rips the smelly salty drips, he drills it right through. That's right, Schmitty. That's right. You got to hit him with that in the first quarter. Just as soon as Prater, come here. Put your arm around him. Yeah. So do me a favor. You see that cloud up there? Yeah.
Woo.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. But look, one of the other things that I want to tap the shoulder of before we get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the injury status of Terrell Bernard? Because this dude, I mean, we thought Milano was bad. We at least got one good full season out of Milano. I don't think we've had one full season yet of Terrell Bernard.
Nah, but I mean that goes to show you he's not a middle linebacker. That's what that shows you. You should be out in, where he can get in space. I mean, he's absorbing too much contact at 220 pounds or whatever, 225, whatever you want to call it. I know you're not 230, but some people just can't do certain things, and you're doing him an injustice. He can blitz, he can cover, but absorbing and expecting him to be a main cog in a run defense is just that's malpractice.
Right. I think when you have a head coach, and here's the other point that I wanted to make regarding that, and this is why I brought it up. DeMeco Ryans built that defense in Houston in 2 years. The year he came there, the year he became the head coach, they traded for Danielle Hunter, because I remember, me and you talking, and I wanted the Bills to, to trade for him.
Mm-hmm.
They got him, right? That same year, they draft Will Anderson, 3rd overall pick. They already had Derek Stingley. In the 2nd round, they take Kamari Lassiter.
Mm-hmm.
In the 3rd round, they take Kalen Bullock. You have your bookend DEs. You have your bookend corners. And you already had Jalen Petrie there the year before. You know he's good. So now you got another safety aside him. This man came in one season and said, in order for me to be elite on defense, I need more than one of the greatness of all the positions I have. I got one good safety, good. I need another one. I got one good corner, good. I need another one. I got one great defensive end that we just traded for, good. Let's draft another one.
Yeah, you're looking at, I mean, in 2023, they took Will Anderson. They took, Tank Dell. They took Henry 2020. In 2023, 2024, they got Lassiter. They got Bullock. I mean, they got Cade Stover, the tight end they like to use a little bit. So yeah, that's your blueprint right there. And that's kind of what I wanted to bleed into on Monday, because for all the people that say you can't have good players drafting at 29, 30, I'm going to prove to you that's wrong. That's very wrong.
Prove it.
So we'll go through that on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in depth. No, yeah, because this isn't something that's quick. I have stuff. So, and Laura's like, where are you going to send my notes? I said, I don't even know what notes I'm using anymore, because sometimes I have so many, I don't use them all on one show. And then I bleed over to the next one. I'm like, I don't know what to send. I don't want to give any kind of previews. I wanted to see the post views for the post podium podcast. But yeah, no, I think, when they're talking about a defense like that, a defense that's kind of it's autopilot.
Yeah.
They don't do anything exciting, just like us, but they have the notion that we don't need compressors, because the Bills want compressors. They want guys to go to the quarterback on the ends. We want guys that run stuff and go to the quarterback if you can. Run is a priority.
Right.
So it's like, all right, they are the blueprint for what a defense looks like, and they're kind of young too. They're not over the hill. They're kind of young. They don't stack up all these over the hill vets that were once. They get guys that are still, so that's the difference between us and them.
So just remember that, y'all. 9 years to get to where we are now defensively, right? And our defense at its peak, when it was at its best, gave you 13 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
We had the number one defense that season. The Texans have the number one defense right now. And they played the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And they made him look like Davis Mills. Right? That's what a real, true number one defense is supposed to look like. Whatever it was that we were playing around with was purely statistical.
Mm-hmm.
Because the yardage and the points that we gave up in the 13 seconds game against that Chiefs team, I mean, I get that Chiefs team, was who they were at that point in time. But if you're the number one defense, it's not supposed to look that wide open. And you damn sure are not supposed to give up, 30, 40 yards at the end of the game in 13 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this Houston Texans team going up against them at the end of the game. You think they give up 40 yards like that? Hell no. Right? And again, that was built in 2 years. The number one defense that we had took 4 years. 4 years to get to that point, and it still let us down, excuse me, in the divisional round of that game.
Mm-hmm.
We're not asking the right questions as fans. The media is not allowed to go past a certain point of discomfort for Sean McDermott. So if these questions are going to come from somewhere, the media has to feel support in asking these questions. They're starting to get to a point based on the evidence that's being put on the field to have some comfort in asking these questions, but we have to step up. We cannot continue to fall on this. Laura said earlier, she mentioned hopium, copium, or dopium. And I chuckled a little bit because that's real. But the era of hope or wishful thinking for this particular franchise under this front office, this head coach, these assistants, it has to come to an end. If we're going to watch the rest of this season, it needs to be from the skeptical eye of, okay, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt, but I will watch the game. If you win, good. If you lose, just know how much closer you are to being fired. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that is a purely objective and logical approach to what we've seen over the last 8-9 years. It's not too much to ask. You watched a defense be created in 3 seasons through the draft and a trade.
I mean, honestly, it's not even anything to clap about because we see it all the time. We see teams around us go from worst to first, and see teams that miss the playoffs and go to the divisional round. We see, and we're happy because we don't remember we get ridiculed because we don't remember the drought, but we see teams around us going from the Patriots, the laughing stock 2 years ago, and now they're divisional winners.
Yep.
Unless they completely just destroy themselves, they're the divisional winners.
Yep.
How fast? Well, we're still like, we're in the playoffs though. Who cares?
Right.
And this is why I said last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was, if you don't go to Super Bowl, you fail.
That's it. You were in a transition year last year, and the team that you put together after a transition year in which you made the AFC Championship game is worse.
Mm-hmm.
You took a step back in the year that you were supposed to be improving upon an AFC Championship appearance. You have the 6th easiest schedule in the NFL. And this is what your head coach puts on the field.
It is.
Injury or no injury. Each and every piece that was put into its place at training camp, past all that, in the off season, like this is what you were planning for, essentially, right? If you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. That's how it goes. So this idea that, injuries and all these other excuses. The team they put together in April, past all that, free agency was what? March? The team that they started to put together in March, every last one of those guys that they signed, drafted, re-signed, whatever, this was always a possibility. And they knew that it was a possibility. They knew who Michael Hoyt was when they signed him. They knew he was coming off PEDs. They knew that. They signed him anyway because they couldn't resist. Then what do? They go and they try to sign Morgan Fox, who's regarded as a guy that's a lot like Mike Hoyt, to see if maybe we can strike gold there. This stuff is supposed to be done way before now. We have seen way too many seasons with which the Bills are trying to still find themselves before the playoffs start. Most teams at this junction of the season know who they are, and they're peaking at this point in time. The Colts have known all season long who they are, right? The Ravens, they figured it out. The Chiefs, it seems like they're close to figuring it out.
They always do.
Yeah.
That's why if it comes to the Bills and Chiefs, it's over with.
Exactly.
It's over with.
Exactly. They always figure out a way. They always find something, and then they just ride it out into the sunset after a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I think is going to get our energy up to be encouraged at all for this next game.
Yeah, you're right. Some libations.
Some libations, bro.
I mean, maybe in the ways of cut water. I mean, never mind. The Reed's tea, of course.
You on that cut water, boy.
Ooh. Only thing better, Reed's tea, boy, I tell you, because it's one part refreshing, one part delicious, 2 parts healthy, and no hangover. But what can you expect? With only 4 ingredients. I don't drink tea, but let me tell you, that's a good drink there. What are you doing? Head over to Reed's, get yourself a supply of a case or individual. Why should you do that? Get yourself a case. You won't be disappointed. But what do I know? See for yourself. Reed's tea. Click the link in the description below and let them know PPP sent you.
All right, let's hit it. Voice doesn't sound warbly, and hopefully the music is not too loud. If you have not done so already, we need thumbs. Thumbs help us out so much more than you could possibly know. One thing that you can do for yourselves and us, if you just want to keep it mutually beneficial, is hit that subscribe button, right? Another thing that is solely for you, only for you, if you're an only child or if you're the oldest child and you love doing stuff just for you, hit that bell, make that thing so that you can get notifications when we send notifications. Like, I believe Monday is going to be the last show that we are able to do until, what week is that? Let me see. I'm going to be out of town.
You're getting a little vacation.
Yeah, I'm shipping out on Sunday the 30th, and I will be back on Saturday the 6th. So we'll do a show Monday the 24th.
Mm-hmm. You got Black Friday. We're not going to do Black Friday.
Correct. We're not doing Black Friday, and then after that, there won't be any shows at all until Monday the 8th. Okay, so make sure you get in Monday. It's the last you're gonna see of us for a whole week. But I definitely want to hear about everybody's, holiday and all that kind of stuff when we get back. I know it's gonna be a week removed from that, but I still want to hear it anyway. So with that being said, everything else you need to know about us is going to be in the description of this video. iMikeHighTech.com for all your tech needs. All of our tech needs have gone there. Love them. And obviously ReedSweetTea.com. If you're a sweet tea drinker, that's where you go. If you're here in Buffalo, you can head to any Delta Sonic in the area and get yourself a case, or you can get it, solo dolo bottle. Online, you can buy it by case online, or I think they're going to start doing 8-packs pretty soon. So definitely check that out. They have a lot of other information on the page and stuff like that. They do catering events. They do all kind of stuff, right? So This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium takes. For our producer, Schmitty, I am your co-host, Aramis.
40 keys. Have a good one, y'all.
You got that thing down locked. All right, y'all have a good night. Peace.